I think Indigenous artists are sort of filling a gap. That's the title of the show, Stop the Gap and Mind the Gap. I think we're filling a bit of a gap that exists out there. And unlike the history books, which are trying to, which have a different, are a different medium and have a different purpose, we need not, as artists, be so concerned with giving an accurate sort of portrayal of events, fair and balanced and objective. We have the luxury of perhaps researching these history and then doing something that's necessarily creative with it and transformative of it. I don't know if it exactly makes statements, but it communicates. And it can communicate the political, again, since we're dealing with communication between humans, then the political is always, can be there, can be part of it. It's just a matter of maybe some art is very upfront and confrontatory in that political way. In other art, I think the political can be embedded in it in a much quieter way. I think that it is in my work, but I think it's in a quieter sort of way, rather than a sort of posterish, agitprop. I think we all have these, on the micro level, we all have our personalities, our individuality, and so forth like that. But those are the sort of, I think of those as the sort of small stories that we all have. And then we have these other more collective sorts of associations and stories, or there's a collective world. And I like to access that. I believe, I'd like people to make certain connections that I'm trying to help them make certain connections between their personal worlds and these larger ones. The mainstream of contemporary art in the United States is a very competitive field, Native American artists are somewhat disadvantaged in that field, not from a blatant sort of racism, but in most cases, but I think just from their networks have to be developed and are being developed actually. So it's a changing environment now, and it's improving, I think, all the time. I mean, my work has been collected by the National Gallery of Canada and by the Smithsonian National Museum of the American Indian, and is increasingly, it's getting out there. So I wouldn't say, though, I think it seems a little different here. It does seem like it's booming.